Do you know how many species Roger has had children with? Overcoming reproductive isolation and creating new species is too easy for Roger. Not long ago when Stan was driving on a country road, his car suddenly broke down. A strong man took the initiative to offer help. With the assistance of the man's mother and brother, Stan managed to get out of trouble. Compared with city dwellers, people in the countryside are much stronger in physique. Stan was very grateful for their help, and at the same time he admired the strength of the three of them. As soon as he got home, Stan immediately called a family meeting. In his opinion, the Smith family is too weak, and Haley is the most obvious example among them. In order to prevent everyone from deteriorating, he decided that the Smith family should become as strong as farmers. Through labor, he would lead all of them to move to a farm to live. Regarding Stan's idea, Haley openly rebelled. He thought there was no need to go to the farm, because they had a large yard at home, and they could open up a vegetable plot in their own yard. The next day, everyone was ready. Before farming, they had to cultivate a piece of land. In Stan's view, the larger the land, the higher the upper limit of the family strength. Suddenly, a forklift rushed into the house. Half an hour later, the house was completely demolished by the forklift. Now they had enough spacious land in order to have a place to live. Stan also specially prepared a small house. 6 people in the family had to live in this house, which was only a few square meters. Stan had already made plans. For example, Smith would sleep in the drawer, and Francine would sleep behind the mural. After solving the problem of the family's accommodation, everyone started plowing the land. Since Stan believed that the family needed to be highly self-disciplined, he not only confiscated all the electronic products, but also quit his job. Now they could only succeed and not fail. After 2 months of operation, the Smith family's farm gradually became more complete, but Steve suddenly fell down while plowing the land. The suddenly appearing rabbit hole made Stan alert. There was actually an extra rabbit in the vegetable garden. Dan was about to kill the rabbit, but Haley snatched the rabbit away. Looking at the cute rabbit, Haley promised her father that she would throw the rabbit into the forest, but Haley was too kind. She secretly brought the rabbit back to the farm at night. Just after one night, all the crops at home were damaged by the rabbit. Haley finally realized her mistake. Now they had no source of income, so Stan had to sell the only sheep in the family. Now Steve was injured, Jeff had tuberculosis, and Francine needed to take care of them. Now all the work had to be borne by Haley. Haley picked up the gun and killed the rabbit. From that day on, Haley completely changed. She did farm work from morning till night, and with her efforts the farm was covered with vegetables again. Just when Haley was checking the fruits of her labor, she suddenly heard other noises. There was actually a secret passage hidden under the ground, and Stan was at the end of the passage. He hadn't cut off all the electronic products. On the contrary, he secretly played every day in this way. Stan was driven out by his family. He could only temporarily move into the Gray family's house. Looking at the vegetables at home, Stan was very happy at this time. Roger suddenly appeared today. His identity was a rabbit. Since Haley took over the farm, it had become stricter and stricter. She decided to throw Jeff, who was a burden, into the forest. Stan finally realized his problem. It was he who had turned Haley into this way. Now the only way was to destroy the farm. He and Roger immediately started their actions. Since Haley was alone, the farm became dilapidated again. Facing the invasion of pests, she set traps all over the farm. Roger was discovered by Haley because of his greed for food. Facing Haley's hunting, Roger gave up resistance. Fortunately, Stan appeared in time. He missed that gentle and kind Haley. At this time, Roger covered Haley with a blanket and Stan turned on the TV. In this way, Haley watched the TV and gradually changed back to her former self.